everyone, welcome back to the library here at Horror Hotel. It's time once again for Creepy Cheapies with Dr. Lady. I'm Spartacus, and I have a soft spot. Well, it's kind of weird, it's right there. No, I have a soft spot for zombies and dead things and ancient, old, shriveled up, rotted ghouls. I like that kind of monsters. And I don't know, maybe it's just because I come from a strange family line of guys who, the men in my family traditionally are the sort who would never just be a good sport and lay themselves down and die like you should when your time comes. No. The men in my bloodline, it always took, 6 heart attacks, 3 strokes, and a hunting accident to do them in. Nobody will just be a good sport and just lie down and die in my family. Maybe that's why I like have such an affinity for very old looking characters, ancient rotting ghouls. I mean, I had a great uncle who died at 110 East Main Street. That's where the jail was back then. And I did have an uncle who died at 1:03 a.m. was when he came out of the bar and the bus hit him. It was just that's how it happened. And anyway, today's mask is one of those rotten zombie types, and it's another one from the Walking Dead TV series. This one is from a season 4 episode, and well, the title of the episode was Indifference, and so this guy calls himself the Indifference Walker. Now he's really skinny, very skinny indeed, so he's also sometimes known as the Skeletal Walker or the Skeletal Indifference Walker. He likes to be known as the Indifference Walker, but I'm not buying it. Look at that expression. Does that look indifferent to you? No. He says he's indifferent, but I think he's just trying to sort of lure you into a false sense of security, because I think, look at those crazy eyes. I think he's far from indifferent. I think that he sees you as, an important part of a balanced breakfast. I think that's what he's got on his mind. Look at this sculpture. Good heavens. This amazing, creepy thing. This was sculpted by a human named Eric Lubati. Okay, he did have a website called Lubati Designs. Does he still? The zombie isn't sure. He thinks maybe he does. He thinks you should look it up just in case. But what a beautiful sculpture it is, and by beautiful I mean convincingly disgusting. This guy's creepy and spooky, and as you could probably see in the close-up there, he's got little eye cuts right above these creepy eyes. And the eyes actually came like this. I did not, repaint that or anything myself. It actually looked that scary and disturbing right out of the box, and I think he is disturbing. For one thing, his anatomy and his flesh are pretty realistic. They're pretty plausible. I mean, this looks plausibly like something that could have been a human face at one time, but then has been ruined and destroyed with the passing of time. What do you mean, look who's talking? Shut up! Stupid zombies. Anyway, smart aleck zombie that he is, the Indifference Walker has this little bit of gray hair, kind of thin and wispy there. Not my favorite kind of hair, because it's that stuff that's sort of plasticky hair that's sort of kinky and wiggly and crimped looking, like Tales from the Crypt, But it kind of works on this guy because he's such a mess. He's such a wreck. He really could look like anything. Now, as far as costumes, always a great thing about zombie ghoul costume situations is that they're so easy. You can wear almost anything, because who knows what circumstances he was in when he bought the farm. I would say this guy is at such an advanced state of decay that I wouldn't wear a perfectly normal looking clean clothes. I would want clothes that you've maybe smudged up with brown paint and black paint and gray paint and kind of torn some holes, maybe hang some spider webs and things like that. It's not a big famous character like it has to be exactly like what he wore on the show, although you can certainly go for that if you'd like to. But if not, you could get away with him wearing anything that looks like Ideally, I think I would use a suit that looks like a guy might have been buried in it. Yeah, you know, like a suit and tie kind of, sort of a formal look, but he could wear virtually anything that involves human clothing. Now, I hope you can still get one of these by the time you see this episode. It was still available as of 2020, I believe, but it's been out for several years. I think this mask came out around 2015, 16? Well, it's been a while anyway. So let's hope it's still available and you can get one for Halloween, because it's pretty disturbing and pretty frightening in person, and a really, really scary one to add to the zombie collection or to wear at the haunted house. Although if I was going to wear it for any length of time or in the dark at a haunted house or something, I might want to trim those eye cuts out a little bigger. And if you need to do that, you can do that very carefully, okay, with a hobby knife like an X-Acto knife, or even just some good sharp scissors, really. But be very careful doing it, because once you cut too much off, it's awfully hard to build it back on and make the holes smaller again. But what a great looking thing here from The Walking Dead Season 4, courtesy of Trick or Treat Studios and Mr. Eric Lubati, who sculpted this for Trick or Treat Studios. And that's about all I have to say about him. And so until next time, my advice to you is the same as it is every week, which is go ahead and be just as weird as you really are, and no weirder.